everyone. Welcome back to English Conversation Amelia. Today, we're diving into something absolutely fascinating. 100 examples of complex sentences.
Oh, wow. 100? That sounds like a lot, Amelia. I'm not sure I'm ready for this.
Don't worry. We'll take it step by step. Complex sentences are actually easier than you think once you understand the pattern. Let me ask you, do you know what makes a sentence complex?
I think it's when the sentence is really long and difficult.
That's what most people think. But actually, a complex sentence has one independent clause and at least one dependent clause. For example, although I was tired, I finished my homework.
Oh, so there are two parts, but one can't stand alone?
Exactly. You got it. The part, although I was tired, is the dependent clause. It leaves you hanging, right? You're thinking, so what happened?
Right. And then I finished my homework completes the thought. That's the independent clause.
Perfect understanding. Now, let's look at real life examples. Imagine you're texting your friend about why you're late. What would you say?
Because there was traffic, I couldn't get there on time?
Brilliant! That's a complex sentence. Because there was traffic is your dependent clause, starting with a subordinating conjunction.
Oh, so words like because, although, when, if, these make dependent clauses?
Yes, those are subordinating conjunctions. Let me give you more examples. When I woke up this morning, the sun was shining brightly.
I use sentences like that all the time without knowing they were complex sentences.
That's the beauty of it. You're already using them naturally. Now, let's make you conscious of it so you can use them even better.
Okay, I'm ready. Give me more examples.
Great attitude. Here's one. Since you're my best student, I'm going to share extra examples with you.
Was that a compliment hidden in a grammar lesson?
Maybe it was. Now, let's talk about different types. We have time-based complex sentences. Before I drink my coffee, I can't think clearly.
Oh, that's so relatable. I'm the same way.
Right? That's why I use daily life examples. Here's another. After I finish work, I always go to the gym.
Wait, can the dependent clause come second too?
Excellent question. Yes. I always go to the gym after I finish work. Same meaning, different structure.
Does it change the meaning when we switch the order?
Not the meaning, but sometimes the emphasis. When you start with the dependent clause, you're setting up the context first.
That makes sense. It's like saying, here's the situation, and here's what happened.
Exactly. Now let's look at cause and effect sentences. Because it was raining, we stayed inside.
Oh, I understand.
The rain is the cause. Staying inside is the effect. Perfect. Here's another. Since the store was closed, we went to a different one. Let me try one. Because I studied hard, I passed the exam. Beautiful. Now try one with although. This shows contrast. Although it was cold, we went swimming? Oh, outstanding! You're getting this so quickly. The contrast makes it interesting, right?
Yeah, it's like saying something unexpected happened.
Exactly. Here are more. Even though I was scared, I gave the presentation. While I love pizza, I'm trying to eat healthier.
That pizza one speaks to my soul.
Mine too. That's why real life examples work. Let's do conditional sentences now. If it rains tomorrow, we'll cancel the picnic.
Oh, the if sentences. I use these all the time.
Of course you do. If you heat water to 100 degrees, it boils.
Can we use unless too?
You're thinking ahead. Yes. Unless you study, you won't improve.
That's like saying, if you don't study, you won't improve, right?
Precisely. Now let's look at purpose sentences. I'm learning English so that I can travel confidently.
That's actually my real goal.
And you'll achieve it. Here's another. She woke up early in order that she could watch the sunrise. These sentences sound so much more sophisticated than simple sentences. That's the point. Instead of saying, I was hungry, I ate lunch, you say, because I was hungry, I ate lunch. It connects the ideas better. Exactly. Let's practice place-based ones. Wherever you go, I'll follow you.
That sounds like a romantic movie line.
It does. Try this. I'll sit where I can see the screen clearly.
Let me make one. I'll travel wherever my job takes me.
Perfect. Now, manner sentences. She solved the problem as if she'd done it 1,000 times.
What's the difference between as if and as though?
Great question. They're interchangeable. He acted as though nothing happened.
So I can use either one?
Yes, though as if is more common in everyday speech.
Got it. What's next?
Comparison sentences. The more you practice, the better you become. I love that one because it's motivating. Right? Here's another. The harder you work, the luckier you get. These are like life lessons wrapped in grammar. That's how language works. It reflects our experiences. The more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. That's so true about learning English. Let's do reason sentences. Seeing that you're tired, why don't you rest?
Seeing that is another way to show cause?
Yes! Also, in as much as, though that's more formal. In as much as he was qualified, he got the job.
That sounds very formal.
It is. You'd use it in academic or business writing, not casual conversation.
What about whereas? I've seen that in contracts.
Good observation. Whereas shows contrast in formal contexts. I love summer, whereas my sister prefers winter.
Can I use while the same way?
Yes! While is more versatile. While I was cooking, the phone rang. That's time. While I agree with you, I see your point differently. That's contrast.
Wait, one word can work in different ways?
Welcome to English. That's what makes it challenging and interesting.
Sometimes it's more frustrating than interesting.
I understand, but that's why we practice. Let me give you until sentences. I'll wait here until you come back.
I won't stop practicing until I master this.
That's the spirit. Here's once. Once you understand the pattern, everything becomes easier.
I really hope that's true.
It is. Trust the process. Now, as long as sentences, as long as you try your best, I'm proud of you.
You're such an encouraging teacher, Amelia.
Thank you. That means everything to me. Now, provided that sentences, you can go out provided that you finish your homework.
That's what my mom used to say.
All moms use complex sentences. In case is another good one. Take an umbrella in case it rains.
Oh, that's about being prepared for possibilities.
Exactly. I'll write it down in case I forget.
There are so many different subordinating conjunctions.
Don't worry. Let's organize them by category. We have time. When, while, before, after, until, since, as soon as.
That helps. What about the reason category?
Reason. Because, since, as, seeing that, inasmuch as, now that.
And contrast?
Contrast. Although, though, even though, whereas, while.
What about condition?
Condition. If, unless, provided that, as long as, in case.
When you organize them like this, it's much clearer.
That's the teaching strategy. Your brain loves organization. Now, let's practice mixing them. Although I was nervous, I spoke clearly because I had practiced.
Oh, that has two dependent clauses.
Yes, you can have multiple dependent clauses. When I arrived, although it was late, because I had called ahead, they were still waiting.
Wait, can you really stack them like that?
Technically, yes, but it gets awkward. In real conversation, we'd probably break that into 2 sentences.
So complex doesn't mean we should make it complicated?
Exactly. The goal is clarity, not confusion. Since you understand that, you're thinking like a native speaker.
Really? That's encouraging.
Absolutely. Now, let's look at embedded questions. I don't know where he went.
Is that a complex sentence?
Yes. I don't know is independent. Where he went is the dependent clause. What about, I wonder why she's late? Perfect example. The embedded question doesn't use question word order. Notice?
What do you mean?
Instead of why is she late, in the embedded version, we say why she is late. The verb comes after the subject.
Oh, I've been making mistakes with that.
Now you know. I don't know what time it is, not what time is it.
Let me practice. I wonder where the store is.
Excellent. Here's another type. Whoever calls first gets the prize. Whoever can start a dependent clause? Yes! Also, whatever, whichever, whenever, wherever, however. Can you give me examples of each? Sure. Whatever you decide, I'll support you. Whichever route you take, you'll arrive on time. Whenever you're ready, we can start.
These are really useful in daily conversation.
Exactly. Wherever you're sitting, please raise your hand. However hard it seems, don't give up.
I'm going to use these in my daily life.
That's the best way to learn. Now, let's talk about reduced complex sentences.
That sounds complicated.
It's actually simpler. Instead of, when I was walking home, I saw a rainbow, you can say, walking home, I saw a rainbow.
You can remove the subject and verb?
When the subject is the same in both clauses, yes. Before eating dinner, I washed my hands.
That's shorter and sounds natural.
Exactly. After finishing work, I went home. While cooking, I listened to music.
Can you always do this?
Only when the subject is the same in both clauses. Otherwise, it creates confusion.
So, while I was cooking, the phone rang can't be reduced?
Correct, because I and the phone are different subjects. If you said, while cooking, the phone rang, it sounds like the phone was cooking.
That would be a smartphone.
See, grammar can be funny. Now, let's discuss participle clauses. Having finished my homework, I went to bed.
That sounds quite formal.
It is more formal, but you'll see it in writing. Not knowing what to say, I remained silent.
Can we use present participles too?
Yes! Knowing the answer, she raised her hand confidently.
Let me try. Feeling tired, I decided to rest.
Perfect! Now here's a challenge. Combine these ideas. It was raining. I didn't have an umbrella. I got wet.
Because it was raining and I didn't have an umbrella, I got what?
Good! You can also say, since I didn't have an umbrella when it started raining, I got wet.
Different structure, same meaning.
Exactly. That's the beauty of complex sentences. Flexibility. Let's try another. I studied hard. I wanted to pass. I succeeded.
Because I studied hard, since I wanted to pass, I succeeded?
Close, but that's a bit awkward with 2 because type words. Try, because I studied hard, I passed, which made me happy.
You added a new part.
That's a complex compound sentence. We're getting advanced now.
Is that too difficult?
Not at all. You're ready for it. The which clause adds extra information. I passed the test, which surprised everyone.
Oh, like giving bonus information?
Exactly. She got the job, which she had wanted for years.
Can I use that instead of which?
Sometimes, but which usually follows a comma and adds non-essential information. That introduces essential information without a comma.
What's the difference?
The car that is red is mine. You need to know it's red to identify which car. My car, which is red, is fast. The color is just extra information.
These tiny differences make big changes in meaning.
That's why English is so precise when you know how to use it. Let's practice more. The student who studies regularly succeeds.
Who is like that for people?
Exactly. The teacher whom I admire most is retiring.
I've heard people just say who, even for whom.
In casual speech, yes. The teacher who I admire is acceptable in conversation. Whom is more formal.
So I don't have to stress about whom in everyday talking?
Not really. Even native speakers struggle with it. Focus on clear communication first.
That's a relief. What else should I know about complex sentences?
Let's talk about emphasis. Where you put the dependent clause changes the focus. I'll call you when I arrive versus when I arrive, I'll call you.
What's the difference in meaning?
The first emphasizes the calling. The second emphasizes the timing. It's subtle but important in communication.
So word order affects emphasis even when the meaning is technically the same?
You're getting the nuances now. That's advanced understanding. Here's another example. She succeeded because she worked hard. Versus because she worked hard, she succeeded.
The first focuses on her success, the second on her hard work.
Perfect. Now you're thinking like a native speaker. Let's practice with emotions. Although I'm nervous, I'm excited to try.
That's exactly how I feel about speaking English.
And that's the perfect attitude. Even though I make mistakes, I keep practicing.
That's going to be my motto.
Excellent. Now, before we finish, let's review the main categories. Can you name them?
Time, reason, contrast, condition, place, manner, and purpose?
Outstanding memory! You've absorbed so much. Each category helps you express different relationships between ideas.
I feel like I understand English sentence structure so much better now.
You should! You've learned patterns that native speakers use unconsciously. Now you can use them consciously.
Will I eventually use them unconsciously too?
Absolutely. With practice, these patterns become automatic. That's when you know you're becoming fluent.
How long does that take?
It varies for everyone, but consistent practice makes it happen faster. Use one new complex sentence structure each day.
I'm going to practice every single day.
That commitment will take you far. Remember, complex sentences make your English sound sophisticated and natural.
Can you give me a final challenge sentence?
Sure. Combine these. You practice daily. You'll improve quickly. You'll gain confidence. You'll speak fluently.
Oh, wow. That's a lot. If you practice daily, you'll improve quickly, which will give you confidence so that you'll speak fluently?
That's incredible! You combined conditional, relative, and purpose clauses in one sentence.
Really? I did that?
Yes! Do you see how much you've learned in this session? You started nervous about 100 examples, and now you're creating complex structures yourself. I can't believe how much clearer everything is now.
That's because you engaged actively, asked questions, and tried examples. That's the key to learning.
I'm going to review this conversation and practice each type.
Perfect plan. And remember, everyone watching and listening, I want to hear from you. Yes, please share your own complex sentences in the comments. Let's see your examples. Tell us which type of complex sentence you find most useful in your daily life. Time-based, cause-effect, conditional.
And if you have questions about any specific structure, ask. I read every comment.
Also, tell us where you're watching from and why you're learning English. I love hearing your stories.
If this lesson helped you, please hit that like button. It helps other learners find this content.
And subscribe to English Conversation Amelia if you haven't already. We post new lessons every week. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a lesson. Share this video with friends who are learning English. Learning together makes it more fun. Comment below with one complex sentence about your day. I'll read them and give feedback. Let's build a community of English learners supporting each other. Your comment might help someone else learn. I'm so proud of everyone who watched this entire lesson. That shows real commitment to improvement. Keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and keep improving. You've got this.
Until next time, keep speaking, keep learning, and keep growing.
This is Amelia from English Conversation Amelia, reminding you that every complex sentence you master brings you closer to fluency. See you in the next lesson. Bye, everyone. Goodbye. Happy learning.